So very good morning to everyone. Right, let's start what PM journey. Right, we started with basic, a story which binds everything. Right, were you okay with the whole concept of what? Tell me, the performance management basics and how the portion works out. Where you are positioned. See, when I go in decision making, where am I positioned? Are you okay with that? Tell me. Decision making में what I'm doing, sir, how much fixed cost, how much variable cost, sir, fixed cost, variable cost, it will come in a short time, right? So one by one we had done what, then we started with basically your basics of MA, correct? Profit calculation, cost sheet, variable cost, fixed cost, other aspects, right? One more thing add here, right? Traditional versus absorption costing इधर add कर दो. That also we are going to see today. Or it is also called as activity absorption costing versus activity based costing. Yeah, absorption costing को you can say ABC. I think we were on the first part of types of cost, right? Types of costs. Chalo, quickly let's revise based on elements and try to write it down. ठीक है? Just a second. आ जाओ जरा. हाँ, बोलो. लिखो costs based on element. याद करो. What did we talk about? When I say cost based on elements, what are the 2 or 3 types of costs here? Bolo.
Material, labor, overhead, other cost.
Material, labor, and expenses. Can I see? Can I say? Right? Or what? Tell me. Expenses, maybe I cannot write overhead directly here. Can I write overhead directly here? No. So I will write what? Tell me. Material cost. Correct. Then labor cost. Correct. And then expenses or other costs. I'm not saying overhead straight away. Pehle I'm telling you. I'm not going to overhead. Overhead, is it based on element or is it based on nature? Aajao zara. Element or nature? Tell me. Nature of cost mein there are 2 types of costs. Correct? Ek, write down material cost, labor cost, right? The material that is required to make and sell the product. Because material cost has both direct as well as indirect. If you remember, I said what we are going to do. Tell me. After doing individual small tables, correct? We are going to do one Maha table where material cost I will divide into direct, indirect, variable, fixed, correct? And what was the fourth type? Bolo, bolo. Dekho zara, have a look. So I will say what? Elements involved in cost. Your material, labor, expenses, correct? Nature of cost is what? Direct, indirect. Function is what? Tell me then. Production, non-production, correct? And then behavior is what? Variable, fixed, and semi-fixed, and what? Tell me your semi-fixed के बाद क्या? Step fixed cost, right? So one table, we will do small tables of this. उसके बाद one big table, combining all of the above, correct? Have a look. आ जाओ.
Sir, why we are not considering overheads and cost?
एक मिनट. Overheads का what is the nature? Tell me. Overheads, are they direct, indirect cost? Most of, or what are they? Tell me.
Indirect.
Indirect. So cost based on elements. What are the three elements? Now see, when I make this bottle, correct? Material is what? Tell me. Plastic bola, correct? Your steel, whatever it was, correct? Right? And whatever two, three materials that are required. Now my follow-up question is what? Sir, material is required. There will be direct labor that will be required, right? Sir, the bottle goes in the machine as well, correct? So machine cost भी होगा, right? Then there will also be what? All other costs other than material and labor. Mainly elements का जब बात होता है ना, it is a very traditional approach. It is what? Tell me. Till that time we were not very okay with overheads. But when we got to know what? Based on nature, okay, sir, to make this, whatever direct cost is required, that is your direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses, right? That was something that we considered in direct cost. And indirect cost were nothing but, sir, over and above making this product, whatever over the head of the body, correct? Or over and above making the product, whatever the cost was there, sir, right, was considered as an indirect cost or an overhead that was there. It was not based on elements are what, sir? Material, labor, and all other expenses, correct? But when I went into, so that's what I'm saying, when we draw a big table, at that time we will use the word direct, indirect, direct cost, and then overheads or indirect costs. Are you okay with that? Tell me. Anyone having any problem here? Tell me. Material, labor, right? The labor. Now am I writing it, am I only writing the material required to only make the product or make and sell the product? That is all materials required. Isko I can divide into two parts, no? Direct, indirect. But till I don't do direct, indirect, I cannot go there, right? The labor required to make and sell the product. I'm saying end to end, all the labor that is there, right? All labor utilized. Expenses, all other expenses other than what? Tell me. Yani other than material and labor, all. Is there example I could write? Raw material, packing material. एक है to what? Make the product, raw material. The other is what? Tell me. To sell the product. Correct है क्या? Tell me. But without the packing also, can you sell the bottle? Tell me. Yes. But tell me some liquid you have to sell. Petrol, example. Can you sell it without packing it properly? Bottle में or something? It will what? Tell me. Evaporate away. बराबर है क्या? Evaporation हो जाएगा. Right? Labor cost. Example. You have your labor on making the finished goods. Correct. Second is your labor to transfer goods. One place to another. यानी डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट दोनों हो गया. करेक्ट. All other expenses, machining cost, selling cost, advertising cost, etc. Chalu, tell me. Next cost is based on what? Today no one has woken up, right? Yesterday is off, correct?
Wait,
कोई नहीं.
sir. 2 minutes, sir.
हाँ
2 minutes, sir. We are writing.
हाँ हाँ लिखो ना. Write it down. आराम से. You will get out of your sleep if you keep on writing. Is the timing too difficult for everyone? Tell me. No. 1 week we can do. If you feel after that also that it is getting too taxing, right? Then we could think about the time. I don't have a problem, right? Right? हो गया. Cost based on elements. What is next? Cost based on nature. अब देखो हाँ. What are the two? What is the nature? Two different classification based on nature. Tell me. What are it? याद करो. Direct, indirect, production, non-production. Tell me.
Direct, indirect.
Direct, indirect, right? Have a look. Direct costs and indirect costs. Correct. So direct cost में you have what? Costs that are directly involved. Involved. Yeah. In manufacturing a product or providing a service. Providing a service. इधर एग्जाम्पल तो बढ़िया है ना. फ्रॉम अबव हैव अ लुक. एक सेकेंड. रॉ मटेरियल कैन आई से डायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व इन द प्रोडक्शन और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ गुड्स. कैन आई राइट रॉ मटेरियल हियर? टेल मी. डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. व्हेन आई गो टू लेबर ऑन मेकिंग द फिनिश गुड्स, वुड इट बी अ गुड एग्जाम्पल फॉर डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट? टेल मी. राइट. क्या बोलती जनता? राइट. एंड देन लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, मशीनिंग कॉस्ट. Right? Would it be direct or indirect cost? If it is directly attributable to per unit, tell me.
Direct cost, sir.
बराबर है क्या? तो can I write example? Have a look. If I write like this, this is A, B, this is C, D. E is machining cost and F is selling cost and advertising cost. ठीक है? So if I write direct cost में A, C, E, would it work? Just check once. Have a look. A, C and E, direct cost. Purposively I wrote it like that. right? First direct and then indirect. So here when I go to direct indirect, I can directly write ACE, correct? देखो बहुत माइन्यूट डिफरेंस है, बट इफ यू गेट दिस, कॉस्टिंग इज कंपैरेटिवली इजियर इन लाइफ, करेक्ट? Indirect costs that are not directly attributable, involved or attributable, both words will work. In manufacturing and providing, either what should I write example? Tell me. ACE लिखूं या
DDF.
BDF? What do you say,
DDF.
everybody? B,
PDF.
F, correct?
सर ये डी में क्या लिखा हुआ है? ट्रांसफर गुड्स फ्रॉम वन
Place to another.
ओके
Labor होता है ना, picking up goods from one place and putting it up. Probably factory say what? Warehouse. There are labor who do that. But tell me, are they directly involved in your manufacturing? Tell me.
नो
But without that, can you sell the product? If अगर warehouse पे product गया ही नहीं, correct? Will you be able to send the product somewhere outside? Right? So when you say अरे मतलब sir indirect cost is करो या ना करो, correct? Tell me, will it make a lot of difference? Sir, indirect cost avoid, no? Tell me. Now see, in indirect cost, basically you have an option of avoidable and unavoidable cost. सोचो. Let me not go into detail, but let me talk about it. Correct? Right? If, suno, you have what packing material, right? If you decide that, sir, this bottle, right, we don't want to pack it, and in the factory only we will put up a small shop, factory outlet, and sell it without packing. What you do, you pack it in within a box where 12-15 bottles are put in a box, correct? आपने रिटेल में वन बॉटल यू आर सेलिंग, करेक्ट, इन योर फैक्ट्री आउटलेट ओनली. डिड यू अवॉइड द पैकिंग कॉस्ट? टेल मी. Yes. Can you avoid it? Yes. Sir, also rent. Is it the direct cost or an indirect cost? Advertising expense. Tell me. Direct or indirect? बोलो. Indirect.
इनडायरेक्ट
Indirect cost.
If you think tomorrow, sir, advertising नहीं करने का है, can we avoid that cost? Yes. Right? तो indirect cost में every time ask your heart, sir, whether I can avoid what? Tell me the cost. अरे but direct cost में, sir, let's avoid plastic. Let's avoid raw material. Will you be able to make the product without that? Tell me. Direct cost can never be avoided. Indirect cost, there is a scope that certain costs can be eliminated. क्या कर सकते हैं? Eliminate कर सकते हैं. Does it make sense or no? Tell me, what do you say, Akshata? No? Yes. Akshata is there? Awake?
Yes, sir.
Right? Tell me. Make sense? Correct? तो write a note here. इधर नीचे ही लिखो. Note. Generally, direct costs
एक मिनट.
can never be avoided. But indirect costs have a scope of being avoidable in nature. देखो, if there is no logic to it ना, never say yes to it. अब when you think about direct cost ना, you are very clear. Sir, उसके बगैर तो will the business work at all? Tell me. Now see, I'll tell you simple. मेरा service industry business है, correct? Right? If I don't take a Zoom ID and I do 40-45 minutes का meeting, paid Zoom ID, right? It is a direct cost for me. Without that, can I run the class smoothly? Tell me. No. हाँ, कैन आई डू इट ऑन गूगल मीट? यस, बट गूगल मीट इज टू टायरिंग. मालूम है आपको? गूगल मीट इज टू टायरिंग, राइट? एक तो इट कंज्यूम्स अ लॉट ऑफ व्हाट, वर्किंग स्पेस, एज इन वर्किंग यानी योर सीपी, योर कंप्यूटर स्पेस, करेक्ट? सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग सीपीयू स्पेस बहुत ज्यादा जाता है. जूम इज कंपैरेटिवली लाइटर ऑन योर लैपटॉप, करेक्ट? फर्स्ट आई यूज्ड टू टेक ऑन गूगल मीट, then I decided I will not take Google Meet classes, right? Because it takes a lot of load on your PC, right? Free है इसका मतलब it does a lot of things, right? That is how it is. तो डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट, इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट क्या है मेरे लिए? मे बी एडवर्टाइजिंग. आई डोंट डू हैवी एडवर्टाइजिंग, करेक्ट? अवॉइडेबल अभी के लिए, राइट? Later on maybe not avoidable once I start doing it, correct? But abhi to I can avoid. After that also, if I am advertising at 10 platforms, I can reduce it to 5 platforms, 2 platforms, 1 platform. Tell me. Yes, probably I can do it, right? चल, now cost based on what? Nature हो गया. उसके बाद cost based on what? Tell me. Nature हो गया. What is the next part? Have a look. Function बोलेगा, function, right? Production function and non-production function. This may not be a very what popular cost classification. Production cost and non-production cost. अब आ जाओ जरा फॉर अ सेकेंड, ए बी सी डी ई एफ में आ जाओ. चलो, राइट? प्रोडक्शन एक वन लाइनर लिख सकते. कॉस्ट्स विच आर यूज्ड फॉर कोर प्रोडक्शन.
Sir, what is the difference between production costs and direct costs?
प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट एंड डायरेक्ट
Direct
कॉस्ट.
costs.
देखो ना मैडम, सी डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट इज फॉर मेकिंग द प्रोडक्ट. अभी उसी पे आ रहा था, राइट? प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट इज व्हाट? मेकिंग दिस बॉटल, राइट? प्रोड्यूस दिस बॉटल. अभी पैकिंग मटेरियल, is it a part of production? Yes. On the same production line, what is happening? Tell me. ये ऐसा जाएगा, correct? Finished products done, correct? Then packing, and then will be sent to the sales department. समझ रहे हो? See, without packing it, now see the selling department is there. We are wholesalers, right? So what we do, we make it in big boxes. Big boxes में packing नहीं करो. The production gets over where? Tell me. In the production department. After packing only it goes ahead. Without packing, we cannot as an wholesaler sell it. So should I consider the packing as production cost or non-production cost? Tell me.
Production cost.
But sir, selling, advertising, then we have 2-3 staff which do sale ka entry, purchase ka entry. What are those costs? Tell me.
Indirect costs.
नहीं.
Sorry, non-production costs. But aren't they also indirect costs?
उस पे आ रहा हूं ना, मैं वही कह रहा हूं. इसका महा टेबल बनेगा, करेक्ट? वेयर ईच एलिमेंट, राइट, यू विल बी वेरी क्लियर. फिर उसकी कॉस्ट शीट बनेगी. सिंगल प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट शीट विल बी मेड, करेक्ट? आफ्टर दिस कॉस्ट्स आर nicely what compartmentalized. There will be a compartment in your brain. Once I say that was selling administration cost, correct? So your brain will say, sir, non-production function के हिसाब से. We discussed last time, no? Non-production, sir, right? Then it will say what? Tell me, sir, indirect, sir, correct? Because not directly, ha. But if I say selling cost per unit, is it a direct cost or indirect cost? Selling cost
Indirect.
per unit, indirect cost. But sir, वो तो नीचे बिहेवियर में आएगा. Will it be variable or fixed?
सेलिंग कॉस्ट
Variable.
पर प्रोडक्ट तो फिक्स्ड ही होगी ना सर,
फिक्स होगी.
वेरिएबल क्यों होगी?
सेलिंग कॉस्ट पर प्रोडक्ट अगर मैं दे रहा हूं आपको, पर प्रोडक्ट और पर यूनिट, इफ आई एम गिविंग यू व्हाट, अ कॉस्ट,
ओके,
विल इट बी वेरिएबल
वेरिएबल.
कॉस्ट और फिक्स कॉस्ट? व्हाट
वेरिएबल.
डू यू से अक्षता?
Fixed cost.
फिक्स कॉस्ट होगी. देखो, ये बॉटल को सेल करने के लिए, सुनो, इफ $100 is the cost of selling this bottle, correct?
Yes.
Right? $10 I give it to the what? The sales guy or the salesman who sells this bottle, right?
Okay, then it would be variable. If it is
Ah,
charged on per bottle, but if it is advertising or related expenses, then
हाँ,
it will be
तो
fixed.
एक एसिड टेस्ट है कि ऑल द 4 टाइप्स को कंसिडर करके देन इन द कॉस्ट शीट इट विल गो. समझ रहे हो? कॉस्ट शीट ऑल्सो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू क्लासिफाई, एक या दो तरीके से. द मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग का कॉस्ट शीट इज डिफरेंट and the basic cost sheet is different, correct? Basic cost sheet is basically based on function, right? आ जाओ बताता हूँ. आई थिंक एट द लास्ट लेक्चर आई थिंक तुम जल्दी गए थे ना 9 o'clock को, अक्षदा? या
Yes,
10
9:15 as I discussed
हाँ,
with you.
लास्ट 15 मिनट उसी में ये सारा डिस्कशन था ना कि इफ दिस कॉस्ट इज देयर व्हाट विल इट बी, राइट? आज वापस उसको डिस्कस करेंगे बिकॉज वी हैव टू राइट इट, करेक्ट? आ जाओ. कॉस्ट विच आर प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस, इधर लिखो जनरली दैट इज फैक्ट्री प्लस प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट कॉस्ट, करेक्ट? कॉस्ट विच आर बेसिकली incurred after production is completed. अभी एक सेकंड, इफ आई टेल यू वेयरहाउस स्टोरेज रेंट, स्टोरेज वेयरहाउस रेंट, प्रोडक्शन नॉन प्रोडक्शन?
Non-production.
Non-production.
करेक्ट, दैट इज वेयरहाउस, राइट? सेलिंग डिपार्टमेंट, एडमिन डिपार्टमेंट, और क्या क्या आपको करना, करेक्ट?
Sir, if they will ask in per unit, then it will be considered as indirect expense.
क्या क्या क्या?
Like if they will ask for
एक दो
per
मिनट
unit.
रुको, आई नो वेयर दिस इज गोइंग. मेरे को 10 मिनट दो, आई दिस विल गेट क्लियर, राइट? आई नो वेयर दिस इज गोइंग, वेयर दिस लाइन ऑफ क्वेश्चनिंग इज गोइंग. 10 मिनट दे दो, इट विल गेट क्लियर, राइट?
Okay.
हाँ, इधर एक मिनट, कम टू दैट ABCDEF. आ जाओ जरा. हाँ, रॉ मटेरियल, टेल मी प्रोडक्शन और नॉन प्रोडक्शन.
Production.
तो ए जाएगा, राइट डाउन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट में ए. पैकिंग मटेरियल विदाउट विच the what? Now see, B has 2 points, correct? If without that you cannot sell only, then it will become production cost. But generally we packing generally production cost में आता है. Generally, I'm not saying that every time, but generally 99 out of 100 cases it will come into production. तो A भी हो गया. Labor on making the finished goods, production non-production, tell me.
Production.
Production.
Labor to transfer goods from one place to another, production or non-production?
Non-production.
Non-production. Machining cost,
Production.
Production.
selling cost, advertising cost, admin cost.
Non-production.
Non-production.
आपको आता है, मेरे को किधर कुछ सिखाना पड़ता है क्या? टेल मी. यू आर स्मार्ट पीपल. A B C and E, और इधर क्या जाएगा बाबा? D and F ना. अब ना स्लोली आप इमेजिन कर रहे हो फैक्ट्री, स्लोली यू आर इमेजिनिंग मटेरियल्स, स्लोली लेबर काम कर रहा है, स्लोली मशीन में से प्रोडक्ट जा रहा है, इट इज पैकिंग, देन इट इज गोइंग टू द सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट या वेयर हाउस. बराबर है क्या? आर यू गेटिंग अ व्यू ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स? टेल मी. अब नाउ कैन यू इमेजिन मॉर्निंग 7 AM, इट इज अ बिट डिफिकल्ट, करेक्ट, टू इमेजिन ऑल दीज थिंग्स, बट इवन इफ यू आर हाफ वे देयर वी हैव वन द बैटल, करेक्ट? व्हाट डू यू से? लास्ट, आप सबका फेवरेट, कॉस्ट बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट? फंक्शन के बाद
Behavior.
अरे बिहेवियर. सबका फेवरेट है क्या वो? टेल मी. वेरिएबल, फिक्स्ड, सेमी वेरिएबल,
Semi-variable.
स्टेप फिक्स्ड, सबका फेवरेट है वो. एवरीबॉडी लव्स दैट कॉस्ट, करेक्ट? अंडरस्टैंड प्रोबेबली हाफ ऑफ यू डोंट, राइट? बट मालूम सबको है, राइट? इट इज लाइक discussing budget with what people. पसंद सबको है, समझ किसी को नहीं आता है, करेक्ट? तो कॉस्ट बेस्ड ऑन बिहेवियर 4 है बाबा. वेरिएबल, दूसरा क्या है? सेमी वेरिएबल. फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट एंड चेक फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. चारों की अपनी एक दुनिया है, करेक्ट? And we are going to play around with these costs only. Okay. Variable. These costs vary. These costs vary as per volume of production or sales. या वॉल्यूम ऑफ प्रोडक्शन और सेल्स चलेगा. But are generally constant. Generally constant, right? Per cost unit. और सर क्या बोल रहे हो, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. आर यू ओके विद दिस लाइन? टेल मी. MA people might find it a bit comfortable. Exemption people might find it a bit difficult. We will discuss this. Give me some time. Okay. These costs are partly variable and partly fixed. और इसको डिटेल में देखेंगे, करेक्ट? फिक्स कॉस्ट, they are generally costs which are incurred irrespective of the volume of production or sale. They are constant in totality. फुल स्टॉप. ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट हो गया. सेकंड पॉइंट, थर्ड पॉइंट लिखो. जनरली दीज आर पीरियड कॉस्ट्स. अरे मतलब सिंपल. रेंट इज इट बेस्ड ऑन पर यूनिट or is it based on per month or per year? Tell me.
Per
Per
month.
month.
Advertising cost, correct? Is it based on per unit basis or maybe probably per month basis or maybe per whatever cutout you give per week, per month, per year? Advertising cost also generally what happens if you hire what? Let's say some, abhi now you have this Coca-Cola and what? Pepsi and all those brands. They hire what? All these actors and stuff. So they sign a contract for 6 months, 1 year, that any promotional material or maybe 10 minutes you do what? Advertising with us. Per minute we will give you XYZ amount. Correct? That is how it is. Step fixed cost, right? They are generally costs which are fixed up to certain capacity and then vary if the production or sales surpasses the max production or sales. Full stop. They are constant at certain volume of production in totality. ये words you will find nowhere. Huh? This is just for easy understanding that I've put up these words. Correct? That is up to 5,000 units. Write down like this. 5,000 units. Rent is equal to $500, right? More than 5,000 units. Whatever production or sales, correct? Rent is 700, yeah. 1,000, yeah. Whatever you want to say, $800, correct? Generally, this happens. I don't know whether you know, correct? Step fixed cost. You know these online. What? Tell me your. You have certain things. Say online में. Now I'll tell you one thing that I use, correct? So you have all these recordings that I post up. I hope you know, right? Recordings के लिए we give an app, right, where you can access the recording. But those are encrypted files that are put up on the recording. So what we have done is 1 TB ka data we have taken in one of the what? Some online aggregator or online provider that is there. So we have a 1 TB space there online, right? Up to 1 TB, no, they charge me $5 per month. If my usage goes above 1 TB or my storage goes above 1 TB, then they will charge me $8 for 2 TB ka service, right? So this is nothing but a very what best example for step fixed cost, correct? If I go for 3 TB, they will charge $12. That is how they operate, right? That is how it is. So if I have 5,000 units I want to store in a warehouse, $500 will be the cost of that one warehouse. But if I increase my production and more storage is required, then rent I will have to take the what? Tell me. So more than 5,000 up to 10,000 I can store in the second warehouse. So I have taken 2 warehouses, then I will get $800 में both the warehouses. Same provider possibly, correct? If you take one warehouse, then $500. Take 2 warehouses together, $800 discount, right? But not true in all cases. Okay, I'm just giving an example, right? Are you okay with all the 4 types? Tell me, any problem? इसमें कोई tension? Tell me, right? These are one of the simplest of the words that I could find to put these up, right? You will not find these same words or same lines anywhere in any book, right? These are my what wordings that I have used. Now let me go one more step ahead, correct? Now what you were saying, no, or sir, non-production है, direct है, indirect है, right? Now let's do material labor expense. आ जाओ. Right? अब देखो सारी दुनिया टोटल कॉस्ट की, करेक्ट, कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स. मटेरियल, लेबर, एक्सपेंसेस, करेक्ट. मटेरियल में यू हैव 2 parts. Take a bigger page, maybe 2 pages together or something of that sort, or you could horizontal की vertical की जगह पे you could use horizontal page, whatever you want to do. A bit of more space will be required horizontally, correct. Material, direct material. दूसरा क्या लिखो, indirect material. बराबर है. देखो लेबर क्या लिखो, दो टेल में. डायरेक्ट लेबर, इनडायरेक्ट लेबर, expenses, direct expenses, indirect expenses. बराबर है क्या? ओके विद दिस, टेल मी. अब जब भी डायरेक्ट मटेरियल आएगा, विल इट बी प्रोडक्शन और नॉन प्रोडक्शन? थिंक अबाउट इट आराम से, डोंट टेक टू मच लोड. डायरेक्ट मटेरियल जनरली प्रोडक्शन और नॉन प्रोडक्शन, बोलो.
Production.
डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर,
Production.
डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस,
Production.
प्रोडक्शन. बराबर है क्या? टेल मी. ये रहेगा जनरली प्रोडक्शन. Now एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड, एक सेकंड. यू राइट इट, आई गिव यू टाइम. ओके, सुन लो. थोड़ा सा लॉजिक, यार हेवी लॉजिक इज देयर, करेक्ट. If I have direct material, direct labor and direct expenses, right, then can I find a direct, or can I find a per unit cost of all the three, or should it be generally based on per unit only? Yes or no? Think about it.
Yes, sir.
Think आराम से सोचो. Example I'll give you. Sir, raw material per unit निकाल सकते हैं cost? Tell me. Yes. Labor per bottle, can you find the cost? Yes. Right. Sir, machining cost, right? Expense, right? Per bottle निकाल सकते क्या? निकाल सकते हैं. Generally, they will be variable costs. Generally, they will be what? Variable costs. लिखो. Variable. इधर भी क्या करूं मैं? Variable costs. Here also what I'll do? Variable costs.
सर पर यूनिट में तो फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट ही रहेगी ना, बिकॉज वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग वन प्रोडक्ट ओनली, दैट इज बॉटल. एंड इफ वी विल कैलकुलेट पर यूनिट ऑफ बॉटल, जैसे 10 रुपए पर बॉटल वी आर गेटिंग.
मतलब पर यूनिट कॉस्ट मैडम फिक्स कॉस्ट होती है या वेरिएबल कॉस्ट होती है? पर यूनिट कॉस्ट विल बी फिक्स्ड, बट द नेचर इज वेरिएबल और बिहेवियर इज वेरिएबल. समझ रहे हो? क्या लिखा है इधर? वापस गो बैक, राइट, लास्ट इसमें जाओ. क्या लिखा है मैंने? टेल मी, हैव अ लुक. but are generally constant per cost unit, right? इसका एक छोटा एग्जांपल करेंगे ना, you will be clear about it, right? Now indirect, correct? Indirect में मटेरियल में सुन लो, right? प्रोडक्शन, राइट सर, प्रोडक्शन हो सकती है, राइट, एंड नॉन प्रोडक्शन भी हो सकती है सर. पैकिंग, right? Packing is what generally, let's say for example, it is a production cost example, correct? But now sir, what happens now after this product goes outside from here, correct? सर जनरली इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल में और भी मटेरियल यूज होता है. पैकिंग हो गया, राइट सर. जनरली वी डू व्हाट, लेबलिंग ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, राइट, लेबल करते हैं, राइट. एंड ऑल्सो सर वी डू व्हाट, एडिशनल पैकिंग करते हैं सर हम, राइट. 10 बॉक्सेस का एक एडिशनल पैकेज बनाते हैं, उसमें वी आर सेलिंग इट, राइट. तो वो तो प्रोडक्शन हो गया या नॉन प्रोडक्शन हो गया, एडिशनल पैकेजिंग? टेल मी. अभी जैसे होता है,
प्रोडक्शन
आई हैव 2-3 यूनिट्स, करेक्ट. हर एक का अलग अलग पैकिंग होता है. नाउ यू हैव ऑर्डर्ड 5 यूनिट्स, आपका 5 यूनिट का बॉक्स बनेगा, कोई 10 यूनिट का बनेगा, किसी का 15 यूनिट का बनेगा. इज दिस रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्शन
नॉन
मटेरियल दैट यू यूज?
प्रोडक्शन
नॉन प्रोडक्शन, करेक्ट. Sir, what happens now after that? We have to use a certain kind of different packing material. किसी को होल्डर, ऐसे होल्डर वाला पैकिंग चाहिए, किसी को they do want what, who have a very bulk order, उनको वो प्रॉपर पैकेजिंग करके चाहिए. A lot of people need what, sort of a bag पैकेजिंग, करेक्ट है क्या? तो वो सारे ही मटेरियल है, वो इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल है. एंड प्रोडक्शन है या नॉन प्रोडक्शन है? टेल मी.
नॉन प्रोडक्शन
नॉन प्रोडक्शन मतलब प्रोडक्शन भी हो सकता है सर, इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल, नॉन प्रोडक्शन भी हो सकता है, करेक्ट. समझ रहे हो, राइट. बट इट इज इनडायरेक्ट, सो इज इट रिलेटेड टू द बॉडी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, राइट, और इज इट ओवर द हेड ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट?
ओवर द हेड.
हाँ, ओवर द हेड में प्रोडक्शन का भी हो सकता है विदाउट, और नॉन प्रोडक्शन भी हो सकता है. उसमें भी इफ यू ड्रिल डाउन, अरे सुनो, राइट, उसमें ऑल्सो इफ यू ड्रिल डाउन, करेक्ट, प्रोडक्शन नॉन प्रोडक्शन में सर सर्टन कुड बी वेरिएबल, सर्टन कुड बी फिक्स्ड, सर्टन कुड बी वेरिएबल. एग्जांपल देता हूं, राइट, एग्जांपल, सेलो टेप फॉर पैकिंग, राइट. ऐसा माप सकते होगा, और सर पर यूनिट ऐसा 10 रुपए का सेलो टेप लगाते हैं, 10 क्या है यूनिट है अंदर, 1-1 रुपए का सेलो टेप कर सकते हो क्या? टेल मी. पैकिंग मटेरियल, राइट. हाँ सर, बट इफ यू ब्रिंग, सर पर बॉटल इज पैक्ड इन वन व्हाट, टेल मी, कंटेनर या जो भी तुम प्लास्टिक व्हाट, बट सर वो दैट बैग, प्लास्टिक बैग इन विच यू फिल अप, अभी जैसे आई डोंट नो वेदर यू नो, a lot of bottles are sold with that cover आता है which keeps it cold, right. If your bottle mandatorily gives this cover, right, and you can find what, tell me, cost per unit of that cover, right, then in that case is it a variable? देखो हाँ, is it an indirect material, right? Probably you are producing it, correct. So sir, based on production, because without that you cannot sell the product, correct, and sir it is variable in nature. बराबर है क्या? इसके ऊपर आप कोई लोगो चिटकाते हो, विदाउट द लोगो ऑल्सो कैन यू सेल इट? यस सर, नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट. बट सर इफ यू आर नॉट सेलिंग इट विदाउट द लोगो, आप ब्रांडिंग किए बगैर बेचोगे ही नहीं, देन इट इज अ प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट. एंड सर कैन यू फाइंड ईच लोगो का एम्बोसिंग का कॉस्ट एज पर यूनिट कॉस्ट? यस. So indirect material can be production, non-production, and can be variable, non-variable, yeah, variable and what, fixed. या वेरिएबल में भी सेमी वेरिएबल भी हो सकता है, राइट, और फिक्स्ड में क्या हो सकता है, फिक्स्ड और स्टेप फिक्स्ड, राइट. मटेरियल में जनरली स्टेप फिक्स्ड नहीं होता, लेबर में जनरली विल नॉट फाइंड स्टेप फिक्स्ड, राइट, बट यू कैनॉट से नो टू इट, राइट. तो जनरली इनडायरेक्ट मटेरियल, प्रोडक्शन, नॉन प्रोडक्शन दोनों होता है, करेक्ट. If I add both of them, they both could be, or in both production, non-production, they could be variable or fixed. अरे बाबा रे, right? That is how it is, correct? जनरली नहीं मिलता. मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस यू विल नॉट फाइंड व्हाट वेरिएबल जनरली मैंने नहीं देखा. करेक्ट. बट यू नेवर नो. वेरिएबल और सेमी वेरिएबल वॉट एवर इट इज. फिक्स्ड और स्टेप फिक्स्ड. करेक्ट. लेबर both production non production. Again variable semi variable fixed अब सर इनडायरेक्ट लेबर में वेरिएबल कैसे हो सकता है. करेक्ट. प्रोडक्शन में नॉन प्रोडक्शन में. करेक्ट. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट आल्सो. करेक्ट. सेमी वेरिएबल और स्टेप फिक्स थोड़ा फार फेच्ड है. अभी आई डोंट वांट टू गो देयर. बट एटलीस्ट इवन इफ यू आर एबल टू इमेजिन वेरिएबल एंड फिक्स्ड, half of my job as of now is done. Right. Think about it. थोड़ा सा. Let's think about this. Okay. Indirect labor. Sir, what you do know, right? Sir, there is a machine. Correct? Understand. Now, sir, there is what? Two machines are there. Processing, further processing hota hai. There is one machine and there are second machine. Correct? Sir, the distance between both these machines is example there, right? 800 meters. How much? 800 meters, right? Sir, from here, the labor picks up the semi-finished goods and transports it here. यहाँ से उठा के they transport it here over their head. Correct? ये production से related या non-production से related? Tell me. This labor. Purely think about it from logical point of view. If there was no distance between the machine, correct? What would have happened? Tell me. Would this cost even incur? Tell me.
No.
No. In that case, if this cost is going to be incurred, is it a direct cost or indirect cost? Think about it. It can be avoided. So direct hai, indirect hai?
Indirect.
Indirect hai. But you tell the workers, Suno, come here. Every unit you take from year to year, we will give you $5 per unit. Then it becomes a variable cost or a fixed cost.
Fixed.
Variable.
So $5 per unit. Tell me. Oh, variable या fixed? क्या बोलते हो श्रेया? फिक्स या वेरिएबल? सोचो. $5 पर यूनिट बोला है. करेक्ट. वेन एवर आई से पर यूनिट बिहाइंड द कॉस्ट यानी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट या फिक्स कॉस्ट है? टेल मी.
वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है.
वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. तो इट मे बी नॉन प्रोडक्शन बट इट इज वेरिएबल. बराबर है. आप बोले नहीं सर ये मशीन पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. दैट कैन बी व्हाट? कैन बी इंस्टॉल्ड वन next to each other. In that case, what? Sir, agar there are machines, if you keep them what? Too close to each other, right? Both machines have vibrations which lead to what? One machine being causing a problem to another machine. This machine's vibration causing to another machine. They cannot be installed next to each other. अरे sir, ऐसा 800 meter apart ही रखना पड़ेगा. In that case, it becomes part of production. इसके बगैर प्रोडक्शन हो ही नहीं सकता है. The production cannot happen, sir. You have to carry the finished goods or whatever your semi-finished goods from one machine to another machine. It is a production cost. But sir, is it direct cost? No, sir. It can be avoided, right? Sir, instead of labor, you could make a conveyor belt of 800 meters, right? Yani, sir, it is not directly related, indirect, and sir, it is variable in nature. But you say to the labor, hey boss, this is your monthly salary, right? यूनिट फुनिट कुछ भी नहीं. In that case, it becomes fixed cost, fixed labor. Correct है. Yeah, one more thing, right? In the indirect labor, right? You have what? अब ना the problem is that a lot of you think, sir, labor and administration staff are two different things. Huh? Labor means who's actually working in the production or provision of service, right? Provision of service भी मैं तो क्या करूंगा? Now see, that means I am also labor. Provision of service. ये अभी more of is a production process. तो एक concept of blue collar and white collar comes up. Blue collar is basically the people who work on the factory floor, right? Every day they do what? Pick up some material from here, put it down here. Then some packing is to be done. They do some packing, some processing is to be done. You must have seen those videos that come up where there are people, there is a conveyor belt going on, right? They do what? Fruits are coming in. They will clean the fruit and then send it ahead. They will cut certain bad fruits, or they will look at products which are not good in quality, right? They will remove it. वो वाला जो लेबर, right? But who is doing what? Quality check. Who is doing what? Probably accounting. Who is doing what? Selling का business. Those are white collar businesses. ये blue collar white collar मालूम होना भी जरूरी है, right? Maybe not exam में आएगा नहीं, but in real life to understand blue collar white collar is also something that you need to understand. बराबर है क्या? देखो जरा. Makes sense. And last but not the least, indirect expense तो sir production as well as what? Tell me. हो सकता है production as well as non-production. Correct, and both variable, semi-variable, fixed, step fixed. Correct. Have a look. Makes sense. Now, sir, indirect expense. अरे machining expense, right? दो machine है. One machine is what? Tell me. Is saying that sir, every unit that is put up, correct? $2 it will take for what? Tell me. Processing the goods, correct? हो सकता है, right? No tension. Indirect or, but sir, then $2 है तो directly what? It is a production expense and directly तो variable cost हो गया. But sir, indirect मतलब क्या? Tell me, this is the bottle. You are doing quality control. Quality control या quality check. Once the production is done, production completed. Quality control is there. Out where there is a quality control expert who comes in. He says every bottle that I check, right? All bottles I'll check, correct? Every bottle का $1 you have to pay. Indirect expense related to production. Without that, production will not get over, correct? And it is variable in nature. He says you hire someone, right, who will check every bottle and you pay him fixed salary. Fixed cost हो गया, right? Last but not the least, non-production, right? Non-production में क्या है? Selling expense, right? Indirect. अगर आपने सेल्समैन को बोला that per bottle I will give you certain payment, variable. And if you say that was nice, salesman को fixed salary, not per unit, in that cost is become fixed. देखो, देखने जाओ ना तो अब सेमी वेरिएबल, सेल्समैन को you say we will pay you certain fixed salary, over and above that if you make good sale we will pay you variable also, means fixed salary plus variable pay, सेमी वेरिएबल. देखो समझ में आ रहा है क्या? See, if you are so clear with all these costs ना, तब लाइफ पीएम में थोड़ी इजी है. मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगा कि इट इज वेरी इजी, करेक्ट? थोड़ा बहुत इजी है, करेक्ट? एनी प्रॉब्लम विथ एनी ऑफ द थिंग्स हियर? टेल मी. नाउ दिस महा टेबल थोड़ा सा, इज इट ओपनिंग अप व्हाट थिंग्स इन योर ब्रेन? एनीवन हु हैज डन क्लास बिफोर, हु हैज डन पीएम बिफोर, ये मालूम था क्या? टेल मी. कि इतना डिटेल में यू कैन क्लासिफाई कॉस्ट, राइट? मे बी दिस में यूज्ड पूरे 100 marks में 4-5 marks का some question comes up and you can use it, but it is worth the time because this is the base. A lot of faculties I've seen ये base ही नहीं कराते, they directly jump to what, traditional चलो, ये चलो, वो चलो, correct, because the base is not done in MA properly, इधर problem होता है, right? Are you okay with this? Tell me. Now let's do one more basic. आ जाओ. Write down. Next. Production versus sale. क्या दोनों चीजें सेम है और आर दे टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स कंप्लीटली
Different.
डिफरेंट? देखो, प्रोडक्शन वर्सेस सेल. फर्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो. जनरली इफ प्रोडक्शन एंड सेल्स आर नॉट गिवन डिफरेंटली, व्हाट यू शुड अज्यूम? टेल मी. क्या अज्यूम कर सकते हैं? अज्यूम दे आर
Equal.
सेम. अज्यूम दे आर इक्वल. करेक्ट. but if they are not same amount, then first let's derive the formula, then we'll write the formula. ठीक है. और प्रोडक्शन रॉ मटेरियल यूनिट्स का होता है, राइट? एक मिनट सुनो, पूरा सुनो. राइट, प्रोडक्शन इज इट ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल, WIP और फिनिश गुड्स. प्रोड्यूस्ड क्या होते हैं? रॉ मटेरियल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं अपने यहाँ पे, WIP प्रोड्यूस होता है या फिनिश गुड्स प्रोड्यूस होता है? थिंक अबाउट इट. अक्षता, व्हाट डू यू से?
Finished goods.
Finished goods, correct. What do you say, Krishna? Tell me, finished goods or no? Tell me.
Both, sir.
Both. You can
You
produce
can.
raw material at your place. Tell me. See, raw material is something. Now see, I'll tell you. Right. Let's say you're making this bottle. Right. What is the raw material? Tell me. What is the raw
Plastic.
material? Plastic, steel. This तो you have to bring from somewhere, no? Correct. हाँ, inventory you can have of raw material. वो consumption हो गया. That will come in the next step. Correct. आ जाओ, write down. If they are not the same amount, देखो, first hear me out. Sir, देखो, I had 1000 units of finished goods as opening inventory. सुन लो. Correct. 1000 units of bottle. अब जैसे let's talk about this. 1000 units of bottle I had, sir. Plus, sir, I produced 3000 units of bottle. Now, how many units of bottle do you have with you? 1000 you had in inventory,
4,000.
already opening inventory. 3000 you made. How many total bottles now you have? Tell me.
4,000.
4000. And sir, out of this, no, in the year I sold what? 3250 bottles. How much is the, or how many bottles are left in inventory? Tell me.
750.
750.
750 units finished goods is closing inventory. Write this down. Tell me. Therefore, anywhere in the syllabus, if you are told to find sales or production in units, will you be able to find out? Tell me. देखो. So therefore, if I have to say FG sold units formula, what is FG? FG, that is finished goods sold unit formula. Tell me. What will be the formula? बोलो.
Opening plus inventory produced minus sold. मतलब
अरे सोल्ड का तो फॉर्मूला चाहिए मैडम. करेक्ट. Now see logically, एक minute.
Opening
This,
plus
हाँ,
production minus closing.
हाँ.
Minus close.
So this FG goes this side and this positive. So this negative will become positive when it goes to the right, and closing inventory from here it will come and it will become negative here. It is positive here. So what will happen? Opening inventory plus FG produced. This is opening inventory of FG, right? Minus closing inventory. Okay, क्या? This is a unit based calculation and not total calculation. Total costs calculation. ठीक है, चलो आगे. Krishna, what do you say? Now does it make sense? You are confused somewhere? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? Now
Yes.
next, where your confusion lied, correct? We did production versus sale. Next we'll do purchase versus consumption. Raw material purchased or raw material consumed, are they two the same thing?
No.
But if nothing given, if two different things not given, or opening closing inventory not given, correct? In that case, what? Tell me. So here also, if in a question, right, if generally in production sales are not given differently, assume they are equal. इसमें लिखो that is opening or closing of or closing inventory of FG also not given. Of FG not given. Okay. And then you have what? Purchase or consumption. If they both or both the terms then consider them same. Just a second. Right. If both the terms not given differently, then consider the same. But if they are not the same, then लिखो. Now see, have a look. शांति से सुनो. Correct? Sir, I had opening inventory of raw material. Correct? Right? 1000 units. Correct? Sir, I purchased how much? Raw material. 5,000 units, sir. Right? And sir, we did some production for which I consumed raw material. So 1 minute. Before that, sir, 1,000 we had opening, 5,000 we bought. Total how much did you have? 6,000. बराबर है. उसमें से you consumed how much? Tell me. Let's say 27, yeah. 4,850 you consumed. Right? Consumed raw material. For what? Production. How much is remaining then? Tell me.
1150.
1150. This is what? Closing inventory of raw material. Correct? 1150 units. Correct again. Have a look. Therefore, if I have to find consumed raw material, what is the formula of consumed raw material for production? Tell me.
Opening plus purchase minus closing.
Opening inventory plus of raw material plus purchased raw material minus what should I do? Tell me. It's a very thin line in between, correct? But are you okay with the thin line? Right? Sir, purchased raw material होता है, produced क्या होता है? Tell me. Raw material या finished good?
Finished goods.
Finished good. Small line, correct? Sir, consume raw material अलग होता है, purchase raw material अलग होता है, produced finished goods अलग होता है, what? Sold finished goods अलग होता है, correct? Okay with this? Tell me. Any problem? अभी आ जाओ जरा, कम टू आ जाओ जरा. कॉस्ट शीट है क्या आपके पास? इधर देखो जरा. हैव दे गिवन अ कॉस्ट शीट यार? नीचे है क्या कॉस्ट शीट? आ जाओ जरा. इधर थी ना? अरे नहीं, इधर नहीं, फर्स्ट चैप्टर में. हैव अ लुक. आ जाओ जरा. हम्म, हम्म. है क्या इधर कॉस्ट शीट? आई रिमेम्बर सीइंग अ कॉस्ट शीट यार. हम्म. अरे गायब. अरे थी इधर एक कॉस्ट शीट. रुको 1 मिनट. प्राइम कॉस्ट वगैरह दिख रहा है क्या आपको? समथिंग लाइक दिस. आ जाओ जरा. स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट कार्ड. इज इट विजिबल टू यू? टेल मी. देखो जरा. व्हाट डू यू सी यार? डायरेक्ट मटेरियल दिख रहा है, डायरेक्ट लेबर दिख रहा है, करेक्ट? देन डू यू सी प्राइम कॉस्ट? टेल मी. प्राइम कॉस्ट. उसके बाद क्या है? वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड, फिक्स्ड प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड, स्टैंडर्ड फुल प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, राइट? ऐसी सब चीजें देखो जरा. देखो, आर वी ऑन द सेम पेज? देखो जरा. टोटल कॉस्ट, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, डायरेक्ट, इनडायरेक्ट. ठीक है. इसमें ही क्या हो सकता है? टेल मी. वेरिएबल, फिक्स्ड, मटेरियल, लेबर. देखो मटेरियल, लेबर, राइट? एक्सपेंस भी हो सकते हैं, करेक्ट? नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट आर जनरली व्हाट? टेल मी. सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कॉस्ट, राइट? देखो जरा. है क्या? एब्सॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग की बात हो रही है, राइट? इधर भी एक छोटा सा कॉस्ट शीट था रे इधर, छोड़। आर यू ओके विद दिस? टेल मी। हाँ, इधर भी है, देखो इधर उन्होंने दे हैव मेड अ प्रॉपर टोटल कॉस्ट। ये जो टेस्ट योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग टू है ना, इसके आंसर में आ जाओ। TYU 2 के आंसर में आ जाओ, उसमें कॉस्ट शीट बनी है बराबर से, आ जाओ। दिख रही है क्या? हैव अ लुक। डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, प्राइम कॉस्ट, वेरिएबल ओवरहेड्स, राइट? वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स। ये क्या है? डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर, ये क्या है? वेरिएबल ओवरहेड मतलब क्या? डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट या इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट? टेल मी।
इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट।
इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट, बट इज इट वेरिएबल इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट और फिक्स्ड इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट? देखो जरा।
वेरिएबल।
ये वाला है। फिर वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, देन प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स, करेक्ट? इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट, राइट, विच आर डायरेक्टली एट्रीब्यूटेबल, ऐसा है। फिर आगे आगे आगे, करेक्ट है क्या? देखो जरा, मेक सेंस? तो चले क्या? टेल मी, कैन वी गो एट मेक अ स्मॉल कॉस्ट शीट? बोलो, करे क्या? इधर की भी एक कॉस्ट शीट अच्छी है ना, इधर जो कॉस्ट कार्ड दिया हुआ है, दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड कॉस्ट कार्ड। आ जाओ जरा। ये डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर, प्राइम कॉस्ट, वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड, बराबर है क्या? आ जाओ, तो मेक अ स्मॉल कॉस्ट शीट। हाँ, बिफोर डूइंग द कॉस्ट शीट एक नोट लिखो इधर, राइट? ये टाइप ऑफ कॉस्ट में किधर जगह होगी ना, तो नीचे नोट लिखो। नोट, इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट्स are generally called indirect costs are generally called as overheads. इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट, और ऐसा लिखो, और देखो इधर दोनों को ओवरहेड्स बोलते हैं, सुन लो। जनरली ये एक्सपेंसेस भी जो है ना, एक्सपेंसेस और अदर कॉस्ट, इसको भी ओवरहेड ही बोलते हैं। बहुत ही फाइन लाइन है बिटवीन व्हाट, एक्सपेंसेस यानी इनडायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस, करेक्ट, आर जनरली ओवरहेड्स, करेक्ट? ऐसा है, दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स वर्क आउट। दिस इज ऑल्सो ओवरहेड। Yani if you come into this Maha table also, these generally expenses are what? Tell me. Overheads. ऐसे तो इधर लॉजिकली ये जो एक्सपेंसेस में, इफ यू लुक एट इट, इधर ऊपर ये होना चाहिए ओवरहेड, द Maha table. Production overhead, non-production overhead could be variable as well as fixed. ये इनडायरेक्ट एक्सपेंस। चलो टेल मी कॉस्ट शीट. सिंगल प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट शीट लिखो. सिंगल प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट शीट. सबसे पहले आएगा डायरेक्ट मटेरियल. यूनिट इंटू पर यूनिट कॉस्ट या टोटल यूनिट कॉस्ट यूनिट या टोटल यूनिट बोला तो भी चलेगा. डायरेक्ट लेबर सेम होगा यही. अब मोस्ट ऑफ द बुक्स विल नॉट हैव दिस डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस. करेक्ट. ट्रेडिशनल में डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस नहीं आते. करेक्ट. सेम स्टार ईयर. दिस इज योर प्राइम कॉस्ट टू मेक द प्रोडक्ट. एग्जाम्पल. अरे बगैर मशीनिंग ये प्रोडक्ट बनेगा क्या? टेल मी. विदाउट मशीनिंग कैन यू मेक दिस प्रोडक्ट? ऑनेस्टली टेल मी. नहीं बन सकता. करेक्ट. देन यू हैव व्हाट? टेल मी. प्राइम कॉस्ट हो गया. देन यू हैव वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स. Add this, you get total variable. जनरली ये भी सारे वेरिएबल ही है. ऑल दीज थ्री आर ऑल्सो वेरिएबल. करेक्ट. टोटल प्रोडक्शन वेरिएबल costs. Then you have fixed production overheads. This is then total cost of production. Right. उसमें फिर ऐड होगा what? नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट. करेक्ट. इसमें ना बोथ नॉन प्रोडक्शन वेरिएबल नॉन प्रोडक्शन फिक्स्ड नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट. ये ऐड हो गए दोनों. You will have total costs. नॉन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट भी जनरली ओवरहेड्स ही रहते हैं. करेक्ट. ऐसा लिख दो O/S/H यानी ओवरहेड्स. प्राइम कॉस्ट के बाद सब कुछ ओवरहेड है. करेक्ट. Now these 4 layers that we have created, अब उसमें देखो how nicely you will go about this cost sheet, right? सर पर मंथ रेंट देता है पे शार आराम से सबसे ऊपर चलो नेचर वाइज डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट रेंट टेल मी विदाउट रेंट टेल मी कैन यू डू प्रोडक्शन एनीवेयर इधर नहीं तो किधर और भी चलेगा क्या टेल मी you could own the process, right? Yeah, better rent when I say, correct? Is it a fixed cost or a variable cost? Tell me. Fixed cost. बराबर है. Tell me yes or no. Is it a production cost or non-production cost?
Non-production.
Non-production यानी वो and is it fixed हो गया, non-production हो गया, where will it go? Tell me. इधर जाएगा क्या? Tell me.
Direct.
Direct में जाएगा. Think about it. Non-production fixed, where will it go?
Indirect.
इनडायरेक्ट यानी नीचे
Non
जाएगा यार इन द कॉस्ट शीट
fixed
वेयर
non-production cost में जाएगा.
नॉन प्रोडक्शन है डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट इट इज जनरली इनडायरेक्ट ओनली करेक्ट एंड इट इज एन एक्सपेंस करेक्ट इज इट मटेरियल और लेबर नो देखो स्टील राइट वेरिएबल पर यूनिट आई कैन फाइंड आउट स्टील पर यूनिट इफ आई से वेरिएबल है फिक्स्ड है वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन नॉन प्रोडक्शन विदाउट दैट प्रोडक्शन कैन हैपन production cost correct then directly attributable to per unit yes direct cost उसके ऊपर क्या है टेल मी देन इट इज मटेरियल तो ऐसा भी सोच सकते हैं वैसा भी सोच सकते हैं व्हाट डू यू से अक्षदा कृष्णा मेक सेंस डज नॉट
Yes,
मेक
sir.
सेंस
Makes
Yes.
sense.
आर यू completely clear where what will go tell me
Yes.
with the mar table that we have made and this cost sheet right once we start doing questions will you be more and more comfortable right understanding this tell me सिंगल प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट शीट करेक्ट आ जाओ जरा और मेन टेबल में व्हाट वी हैव डन ठीक है प्रॉफिट कैलकुलेशन एंड कॉस्ट शीट अभी इधर नीचे जस्ट आई विल राइट टू थिंग्स देन वी कैन व्हाट टेक अ स्मॉल ब्रेक नाउ बिलो दिस राइट अ नोट नोट अब कुछ ऐसा लिखूं तो देखो डज इट मेक सेंस जो भी आपका टोटल कॉस्ट आएगा करेक्ट इसमें इफ आई से एड द प्रॉफिट that is there that you require what will you get tell me
Selling
Sales.
price.
sales or selling price sales if it is in totality total sales right or selling price per unit whatever it is if this total cost is per unit cost then you will get selling price per unit after adding profit per unit if it is total cost in totality right then you will add profit in totality get sales in total make sense tell me तो प्रॉफिट सेल्स इसमें कोई टेंशन टेल मी वन मोर स्टेप कैन आई गो अहेड देखो नाउ आर द कंसेप्ट फॉर्मुलेटिंग इन योर ब्रेन वन बाय वन वन बाय वन वन बाय वन अब व्हेन आई गो इनटू वन क्वेश्चन लेट्स से वी डू वन क्वेश्चन समथिंग लाइक दिस ये वाला जो है would we be able to make a cost sheet out of it they have told you to make what prepare a standard cost card for one unit and enter on the standard cost card of the following subtotals सारे subtotal लगाने do we have all the subtotals do we have prime cost in our cost sheet tell me do we have variable production cost in our cost sheet total production cost है क्या and then total cost भी है क्या tell me right calculate the selling price per unit allowing for a profit of 25% on the selling price इस पे भी एक छोटा नोट लिखना है before we go into this question I want to do very basic questions as of now correct आज तो we will go what इसके बाद the focus will shift to what your variable and fixed cost right सारे variable cost एक जगह पे सारे fixed cost एक जगह पे then we enter what CVP analysis but before that once we do this correct I want to go into variable fixed एक बार variable fixed में जाओ तो y is equal to a plus bx एक फॉर्मूला है right there is what and you can plot that on a graph वो ग्राफ पे प्लॉट करना है. यू आर गोइंग टू डू दैट विथ मी. उसमें आई वांट टू इंट्रोड्यूस व्हाट, सेमी वेरिएबल, स्टेप फिक्स्ड, वो सारी चीजें आई वांट टू इंट्रोड्यूस. हाउ दैट shows on a graph. We will do that together in class, right? Because there are interpretation questions. If you have given PM once, right? On that, where the line is going, how the line is traveling, उसके ऊपर questions आए हुए exam में, right? So a graph comes up in the exam where you have to make out के what that line denotes. See, you see a lot of people saying, sir, वो PM में बहुत problem है, correct? कुछ something different only comes up in exam. That is because the base is only not known. You don't know the base, how to draw that line. If you know how to draw that line on Excel or by hand, you will be very comfortable doing it. ठीक है? So let's do one thing. It's almost 8:36. Take a break. Okay. 15-17 minutes. Take a break. Right. Come back by 8:52 तक आते. Okay. Come back by 8:52. We'll continue. Right then. Can I take up to 9:45? Will it work? चलेगा. इंटरेस्टिंग, इट इज नॉट थियरी वेरी नहीं है, इट इज नॉट बोरिंग एज सच. अभी नाउ व्हेन वी गो टू क्वेश्चन, टाइम विल इजीली फ्लाई अवे. ओके, आ जाओ जल्दी 15-16 मिनट्स में. Chal. Quickly come back, guys. We start. Are you all back? Done? Tea, coffee, breakfast, whatever. आ जाओ quickly. Generally, most cost sheet, ये direct expenses को इतना, not a lot of people give a lot of what importance to this direct expense, huh? This part. So make sure that you have a look at this direct expense. Ab na, going ahead. Now let us do this question. I want to take this question. Okay. I am saying here cost sheet example. Okay. So no need for you to take too much load. Okay. आ जाओ. Cost sheet example. Is the question visible to you? Tell me. एक काम करते हैं. Take the question on the left side. You have the cost sheet with you. Can we do one by one things? Right. थोड़ा 1 minute इधर आ जाओ. Come to this part. Just for a second, hear me out. Whether it makes sense or not. देखो direct labor. Direct labor का example कैसा होगा देखो. Let's say some product X finished goods is to be made, right? Product X का finished goods we have to make, right? It takes 2 hours per unit worth of labor cost to make X का finished goods. सुन लो, right? 2 hours per unit, right? And per hour labor charges $5. Therefore, how much is the direct labor per hour? Sorry, per unit. कैसे निकालोगे?
5 into 2.
5 into 2, that is 2 hours per unit into, tell me, per unit or per hour how much you are paid? Tell me. $5. Are you okay with this? Tell me. Make sense or does not make sense? ठीक है. अभी आपको in hindsight or in that small shell, this looks very easy. But when it is in a big question, correct? How to do this is something that we are going to understand, correct? आ जाओ जरा cost sheet example. K Limited makes 2 products, correct? Information regarding one of those products, single product, correct? Budgeted output or sales for the year 900 units, correct? क्या बोला है? Output means what? Tell me. Production or sales means what? Is there opening closing inventory? बोलो. नहीं. Everybody okay with this? Is there opening closing inventory? No. Any problem with this? Tell me. हाँ. Then let me go one more step ahead. Direct material given 40 square meter at $5.3 per square meter. Now this is the cost or your cost unit, but what is the, tell me, are you using per meter in your direct material or do you want per unit in the direct material? बोलो.
Per unit.
To make 1 unit, you require 40 square meter worth of what? Material, right? And per square meter, what is the cost? Tell me.
5.33.
So if I have to find direct material per unit, how will I find out? Direct material per unit. 40 into what?
5.3.
5.3. चलो, you make what? चलो आ जाओ, give the heading cost sheet. करेक्ट. सबसे पहले ऊपर लिखते हैं कॉस्ट शीट पर यूनिट बेसिस. क्या कर रहे हैं अपन? पर यूनिट बेसिस. सर अभी तो वी नॉट इवन गॉन इन वेरिएबल एंड फिक्स कॉस्ट. करेक्ट. अभी तो एवरीथिंग वी वांट इन पर यूनिट बेसिस. व्हाट डू वी वांट? एवरीथिंग. हैव आई टॉट यू व्हाट इज वेरिएबल, व्हाट इज फिक्स्ड, हाउ फिक्स्ड वर्क्स आउट? ऐसा कुछ सिखाया? टेल मी. No. Right now, what I'm doing, all cost, I want per unit basis, that is there. Correct? Aajo. Chalo. So, direct material per unit. How will you find out? Sir, dekho, 40 square meter required. Correct? At $5.30 per square meter. Right? So, how much is it? Bolo. Per unit. How much is it?
212.
$212 ना. $212. चलो. Direct material, direct wages बोलो या direct labor बोलो, whatever you want to say, per unit I want to find out. Correct? Bonding department. चल, bonding department का direct labor per unit बोलो. How will you calculate? What will be the calculation? 24 hours per unit and $5 per hour. So 24 hours into $5 per hour. How much is it per unit? बोलो. बोलो बोलो. How much is it? $120. Then you have your finishing department. Finishing department. Bolo. 15 hours into $4.80 per hour. How much is this, Baba? Tell me.
$72.
$72. What about this variable overhead? Will this come in the prime cost or will it be after the prime cost? When it says overheads, means it is direct cost or indirect cost. And when I say prime cost, do I include any indirect cost in the prime cost or I never include any indirect cost in prime cost? Tell me. Never ever.
Include.
So prime cost per unit पहले निकाल लो. Prime cost per unit is how much? Tell me.
$404.
$402. Correct? Then
$404, sir.
4. Okay. As you said, madam, I don't have a calci. 404. Okay with it, everybody? Then what should I add first? Should I add the variable overheads of production first? Now see, when it is bonded labor hours and finished labor hours, are they related to production or are they not related to production? Would they go in variable non-production overheads or will it go in variable production overheads? Think about it.
Variable production overhead.
So, 1 minute. Variable production overheads. In that also you have two parts. What are the two parts? Tell me. एक bonding, correct, and दूसरा क्या है बाबा? Finishing. So do the calculation. कितना है बाबा? 1.5. 1 minute. Now what should I do? They have given just $1.5 per labor hour, but hours are not given.
Sir, 24 hours we will use.
ऊपर का that means एक मिनट सुनो. Right? What I'm trying to say that there is one labor. Correct? Suno. what he is told, he is doing two activities. Bonding labor hour. Come to it. थोड़ा let's talk about it. Bonding में ना there is one labor who is doing two activities. Now एक minute, ये bottle, correct? Hear me out. Sir, he is making the sculpture of the bottle. Whatever ये जो curvature है ना, curvature, correct? Curvature bottle is making, no sir, right? Total this labor is working 24 hours per unit, correct? Out of which for making this curvature he is paid कितना सारे बाबा bonding में? How much? $5. नहीं कितना $5 था ना? हाँ $5, right? And sir, now what happens once he makes the curvature and puts the bottle in the machine, finishing department में, correct? Once done, he picks up the bottle and puts it in the warehouse. Yeah, he does some packing on this also, correct? Packing. Without the packing, the material cannot be sold. That means will it become a production, right? For packing, he is paid $1.5 per hour. One person, right, working in the bonding department does two activities: curvature of the bottle, which is directly related to production, and packing, which is not directly related to production, correct? That might be an indirect cost, correct, but it is a production cost. एक के लिए $5, एक के लिए $1.5. Does it make sense now? Tell me. That means every person who does curvature and packing is paid $6.5 per hour, out of which $5 is attributable to curvature. Because see, there will be one employee, right, who will say, sir, I only do curvature, I am expert in that. So तुमको $5. Sir, I will do curvature as well as packing, $6.5. समझ रहे हो where we are going with this? Tell me. One is directly related to production, the other is indirect cost. So it is a overhead. But is it variable? That means is the packing ka per unit cost fixed? Yes. This is how it is happening. See whether this makes sense or does not make sense. Are you okay with it? Have a look. बराबर जा रहा है? Now are you okay with that small intricacy? Right? इसके नीचे we can write a note below the cost sheet. Correct? At the end we'll write bonding 24 hours into how much? Tell me. $1.5 per hour. Correct? कितना आएगा बाबा? Tell me. कितना? 36 in a tell me. And here 15 hours into how much? $1 per hour. How much is that, Baba? $15. Everybody okay with the calculation? Then total variable production cost. बराबर है क्या? टोटल वेरिएबल यानी ओवरहेड्स और मटेरियल लेबर सब कुछ कंसिडर करके टोटल वेरिएबल प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट. बोलो, how much is it?
455.
Then what will you add to this now? Variable done. What to be added now? Fixed cost. Correct? Fixed production overheads. Now there are two ways of writing this. See, everything you are doing in per unit. Arey sir, don't fool around with us. 36,000 fixed production overhead दिया है सर. किधर per unit निकालेंगे? Can you take out per unit? How will you take out per unit? Tell me. What do you have to do?
36,000 divided by
900.
900.
900. Correct. That is what. Now hear me out. एक मिनट. सुनो. अगर मैं आपको बोलता कि प्रोडक्शन इज 1000 यूनिट्स, करेक्ट, एंड सेल इज 9000 यूनिट्स, आराम से सुनो, करेक्ट, then in that case this fixed production overhead, would you divide, this is production and this is sales. Correct? Would you divide 36,000 by 900 or 1,000?
1,000.
1,000.
1,000. But fixed non-production overheads, correct, generally are based on what? If उसमें सुनो सुनो सुनो
Sales.
प्रॉब्लम, हाँ प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आएगा? फिक्स्ड नॉन प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स में, राइट? प्रोडक्शन का तो वी आर क्लियर दैट दिस शुड बी डिवाइड बाय प्रोड्यूस्ड यूनिट्स, बराबर है क्या? टू फाइंड द पर यूनिट कॉस्ट. बट नॉन प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड्स में इफ देर आर सेलिंग एक्सपेंसेस, you should divide selling expenses by 9,000 or 1,000. Sorry, 9,000 or 10,000, whatever. Hey, 1,000 or 900, whatever. 900 units or 1,000 units, tell me. Selling costs.
900.
900. समझ में आ रहा है? ये देखो, ये ना, I could have easily gone to the first chapter, right? And somewhere in 6-7 chapter ये आया होता. Divide by production unit. वहां पे आपको क्या होता? अरे यार, we had known it before. It would have been a bit more easier, right? At that time, new topic plus basic also I have to teach again. तो उसमें there is a lot of problem. आ जाओ, fixed production overhead, correct? तो I am writing total fixed production overheads divided by what will you write? Produced units, correct? So what is the calculation, Baba? 36,000 by 900, no? बोलो, how much is it, right? Fixed production overheads
40.
per unit, correct? Then what is this? After adding this, what will you get? After adding, what will you get?
Total cost of production.
Total production cost. How much is it per unit? Tell me. 495 ना रे? And then fixed non-production overheads. Fixed non-production overheads. बोलो, fixed non-production overheads. Fixed non-production overheads. How much is it, Baba, total? Now nothing given, so you will use 900 as your cost. What? Driver. To find per unit cost, correct? To find cost unit, what is the cost driver? See, total cost divided by the cost driver gives you cost unit. मतलब cost per unit ऐसा, right? Cost driver means this 27,000 is being driven by what? Units, correct
900.
or not? 900 units. So 900 unit क्या है? Cost driver है. उससे you get the cost per unit, correct or not? Cost unit मतलब क्या? ये जो per unit per kg is cost unit, correct or not? चलो, theory MCQs में it might help you. So 27,000. एक मिनट पहले write down ऐसा total fixed non-production overheads. The whole divided by ऐसा लिखो. अगर प्रोडक्शन से रिलेटेड है तो प्रोड्यूस्ड गुड्स और गुड्स सोल्ड, या करेक्ट. इधर एक स्टार करना, विल राइट अ नोट फॉर दिस. ये दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन नेवर कम्स इन एग्जाम. आई एम टेलिंग यू राइट नाउ ओनली. बट इफ यू डोंट नो दिस, going ahead life is very difficult. Okay, तो 27,000 by 900 कितना आएगा बाबा? कितना? 13 अरे. So how much is the total cost? कितना total?
525.
525. Everyone is on the same page with me? Tell me. बराबर है. इधर एक ये करो and do a star here. Correct for note. Everybody getting 525. चलो इसके नीचे ही कैन आई सॉल्व द बी पार्ट? टेल मी. ए पार्ट तो हो गया, लेट्स डू द बी पार्ट. Yesterday or day before yesterday, did we discuss this? Tell me. Day before yesterday, did we discuss this? Calculate the selling price per unit, allowing a profit of what? Tell me. 25% of the selling price. पहले एक मिनट, इधर for that, right? Write down total cost कितना है? Total cost per unit कितना है? Total cost per unit $525. Correct. Profit, how much will it be? Tell me. 25% of what? Cost या selling price? Tell me.
175 होगा प्रॉफिट.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है मैडम. 25% of what? Selling price या total cost?
सेल्स.
Sales यानी selling price per unit. Correct. That do we know? No. X. This is not known. But if selling price is X, what will be profit? 0.25x. Right. Adding both of them will give you what? X. That is selling price per unit. Am I on the correct track? Tell me. Therefore, selling price per unit निकालो. कैसे आएगी? 525 plus 0.25x. Selling price per unit is my X. Therefore, कैसे निकालोगे X? X is equal to. अब देखो ये 0.25 है, वो इधर आ जाएगा. So what will it become? X, that is 1x minus 0.25x is equal to 525. Therefore, X is equal to what? 525 by क्या करो? 0.75. कितना आएगा बाबा? टोटल कितना आएगा? X कितना है? सेलिंग प्राइस
700.
कितना है? 700. Therefore, if I have to ask how much is the profit? Profit is what? 0.25
175.
into 700. How much is that? $175. बराबर है क्या? You got the selling price. This is selling price per unit. Profit आ गया, selling price आ गया. ओके है क्या? देखो जरा. Any problem with this? थोड़ा थोड़ा आर यू गेटिंग इन द मूड ऑफ कॉस्टिंग? कैसे पर यूनिट कॉस्ट, टोटलिटी कैसे निकालेंगे? नाउ टुडे कैन यू डू वन व्हाट? होमवर्क. सेम थिंग टोटलिटी में कॉस्ट शीट बना सकते हो क्या? दिस इज पर यूनिट बेसिस. करेक्ट. कैन यू डू इट ऑन टोटलिटी बेसिस?
Yes.
How much is direct material in total? How much is direct labor in total? क्या करना है सबको? मल्टीप्लाई बाय क्या करना है?
900.
900. तो आज का होमवर्क, डिफरेंट कॉस्ट शीट, मेकिंग इट ऑन टोटलिटी बेसिस. ओके विद दिस? चलो.
सर नोट लिख लेते.
नोट लिखा नहीं हमने? एक मिनट. हाँ वो दूसरा नोट लिखना है ना, दोनों नोट लिखने हैं. वेट 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 वेट. आ जाओ आ जाओ. हाँ आ जाओ. राइट डाउन नोट. डायरेक्ट लेबर एंड वेरिएबल ओवरहेड डिस्टिंक्शन. ऐसा लिखो, बॉन्डिंग डिपार्टमेंट 24 hours per unit, right? But there are two activities, activity 1 and activity 2. Direct activity, for which how much are you paying per hour? Tell me. कुछ $5 आना रे, कितना था बॉन्डिंग डिपार्टमेंट में? एक्टिविटी 1 विच इज अ डायरेक्ट एक्टिविटी, टेल मी हाउ मच आर यू बिंग?
$5.
5 है या कितना है? 5 है ना, $5 per hour. And for activity 2, how much are you paid? Indirect activity, how much are you paid? Wow, $1.5 per hour. Second, total non-production overheads, make it 2 parts. If attributable to production, or if attributable to sales, right? Then what? Total non-production overheads divided by production units. इसमें you can break up, right? Whatever cost is production related, correct? Total non-production overheads now if I say उसमें let's say there is a admin cost, right? Admin cost कहाँ डालोगे? Tell me, production unit पे या sale unit पे?
Sale.
Sale unit पे, okay. Selling price, sorry, selling cost, sale unit, correct? But if I say production managers, or if I say better, production manager भी नहीं, हाँ, if I say what? Tell me, watchman salary of what? Tell me, factory जाएगा किधर? प्रोडक्शन में या नॉन प्रोडक्शन में?
Non-production. Fixed.
नॉन प्रोडक्शन में. But when attributable, if you have to find per unit, will you divide by production unit or sales unit? क्वेश्चन वहां आके रुकता है. बराबर है. जितना इजीली लिख पा रहे हो उतना इजीली सोच नहीं पाओगे. प्रॉब्लम वहां लाई करता है व्हेन यू गो इन पीएम. इट इज वेरी इजी टू राइट फॉर्मूलास, बट इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अप्लाई देम. प्रॉब्लम वो है, राइट? वॉचमैन, 2 वॉचमैन की सैलरी है, या 1 वॉचमैन, 1 फॉर प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, 1 फॉर नॉन प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, राइट? या एक ही वॉचमैन डूइंग बोथ द थिंग्स. फिर डिवाइड प्रोडक्शन यूनिट से करोगे या सेल यूनिट से करोगे? प्रॉब्लम वहां आके लाई करता है. लॉजिकली तो ये कुछ भी नहीं होता, करेक्ट? व्हेन वी गो टू सीवीपी एनालिसिस, दैट विल बी अ फिक्स कॉस्ट, एवरीथिंग एल्स विल बी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, राइट? तो इसके नीचे एक और नोट लिखो. दिस इज अ वेरी बेसिक cost sheet, and this may not be completely relevant going ahead, right? Chalo, let me go one more step ahead. What do you say, Krishna? Okay with it? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Have you done costing at any level in your BCom or any other journey? Tell me.
In
Everyone?
BCom I did.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I have done MA.
एमए एमए में था क्या क्लैरिटी मैडम? टेल मी.
I think so.
राइट, अब डू यू फील मोर क्लैरिटी? टेल मी.
Yes.
थिंग्स आर क्लियर. सी, द मोर यू गो इनटू डिटेल, राइट, उतना चीजें इजी 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 होते जाएंगी. करेक्ट. व्हाट डू यू से कृष्णा? मोर क्लैरिटी? टेल मी.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let's talk about traditional and absorption costing, or ABC, or activity based costing, whatever you want to say. Absorption costing or ABC, that is activity based costing. Thoda sa hear me out, correct? This is a very old technique, right? Traditional mein what used to happen? With you I discussed, no, right? Yesterday FM mein I gave example, right? Hear me out. Everybody knows Mumbai as a city. Tell me. Correct. Mumbai 50 years ago, after independence was, or during independence period also, was very famous for cloth mill. What was it famous for? Tell me. Cloth mills, right? There were very big cloth mills that were there, right? And a lot of laborers used to work there, because earlier what was the technology that was used to make cotton? Correct. The labor used to, what, you get the raw cotton, correct, right? There is the raw material that is there. Now the raw material is what? From fields. Cotton plant is there, it is harvested, correct, packed into gunny bags, correct, and gunny bags या जो भी bags होगा, and sent to Mumbai for further processing. Now see, थोड़ा सा ना business angle I am trying to tell you 1 or 2 minutes, just hear me out. Now see sir, where is all this cotton grown? Generally it is grown in the exterior part of Maharashtra. You have Gujarat also, one of the best what farming of cotton and everything happens there a lot. Maharashtra, Gujarat, all other states also, slowly cotton was growing everywhere, correct? In and around Maharashtra and Gujarat, right? But sir, why all cloth mills in Mumbai only? Understanding, right? Sir, that was the question. I'll tell you why, correct? It was easier to make it in Bombay, right? And sell it all over India. Nahi to more of our cotton was a lot of demand out of the country, correct? तो यहाँ से we used to sell it somewhere else. See, if you make somewhere in Madhya Pradesh, example दे रहा हूँ, correct, from Gujarat, Maharashtra, you take the raw cotton, make it in Madhya Pradesh, correct, then bring it to Mumbai port and then sell it to all over the world. Would it be logical to do this? Tell me. Mumbai, right? Close to the port, you take a mill, right? So the transportation cost is minimum from factory to port to wherever it wants to go in the world. That was the logic that Mumbai had so many mills, right? Abhi, when I go somewhere in 70s, 80s, correct? If I went to cost sheet of any organization, I would find, or sir, direct material, $10,000. Sir, direct labor, 30,000 or $40,000, right? And sir, expenses or overheads, correct, $5,000. अरे सर, electricity was a foreign concept at that time, right? More of industries were labor intensive. समझ रहे हो? Labor intensive means what? Heavy part. Now see, total cost is how much? Logically 45,000, out of which if you see almost 1/3 cost is labor. Labor is the heavy component. See, material तो तभी भी था, अभी भी है. Understand? Material was older में material was also there, newer में also material was also there. But when it comes to what? Tell me, labor, right? Right? Traditional से when you come to modern costing, labor का cost component, right, has been on the decline. Sir, what happened after that? Slowly the cloth mills, right, moved from completely labor intensive industry to what? Machine intensive, or what, as they call it, capital intensive. That means a lot of things were automated. That's why a lot of mill workers were fired. Mumbai mill workers were fired. It's a very famous, there are a lot of movies made on it, correct, where mill workers are fired. Generally coming क्या हो गया सर? $10,000 डायरेक्ट मटेरियल तो था ही सर, मेजर कंपोनेंट वाज रॉ मटेरियल वाज देयर, राइट? बट सर, दिस डिक्लाइन टू 5,000. एंड सर, मशीन कॉस्ट, was like this. This is how the costing system changed. देखो जब तुम्हारे पास ओनली यू हैव $5,000 वर्थ ऑफ कॉस्ट, करेक्ट, यू कैन इजीली एट्रीब्यूट इट टू इधर सेल, नहीं तो प्रोडक्शन खत्म करो, बराबर है क्या, सेल पे ले जाओ नहीं तो प्रोडक्शन पे. बट व्हेन इट इज अ मेजर कंपोनेंट ऑफ 30,000, नाउ हाउ टू व्हाट divide this. And see, we are talking about one, what, tell me, finished goods. But if you have four different type of finished goods, now see, in a cotton mill also, what were the different type of products? One was raw cotton, you make cotton sheets, correct, or cotton what, cloth, right, you make big what rolls out of it and sell it to someone. Other was what, making t-shirts, shirts, whatever it is, right, that is wearables, correct. Other was what, making maybe cotton bags, dhotis, सब कुछ ऑप्शन था उधर, करेक्ट और नॉट. You had 7-8 products, right? Now when 5,000 is the cost, right, and there are 10 products, sir, 500 सारे प्रोडक्ट को दे दो, काम खत्म करो. But when it is 30,000, there was a lot of problem. And if there was a multi-product firm, how to divide this 30,000 between the 7-8 product firms or 7-8 products that are there in the business was a very big question. कैसा करने का, how to do it, how to go ahead with it, something that was a lot of problem. So traditional costing versus absorption costing or ABC or activity based costing was something that taught us how to move from traditional to modern costing. वो भी मैंने बोल रहा हूँ that it is full proof, आगे जाते in the syllabus this is also irrelevant, but you need to know this in order to understand going ahead fixed and variable cost, which will probably start on Monday, right? That is CVP analysis that we do, correct. पहले तो what we will do, that y is equal to x plus b, then we go to what, that will only form a base for CVP analysis, break even point and going ahead, right? But are you okay with traditional costing versus absorption costing? If you want to write this down. Traditional costing, make two parts of the book. ट्रेडिशनल कॉस्टिंग ऐसा एक बैलेंस शीट बनाओ, अपना ये बनाओ कॉस्ट शीट, राइट, दिस इज मॉडर्न, राइट. इसके नीचे वी कैन राइट विथ टाइम डायरेक्ट लेबर और लेबर इंटेंसिव industry has transformed to what type of industry, Baba? Tell me. Labor से capital intensive. Capital intensive means what? Tell me. Machine या labor? Tell me. Machine based work. Leading to increase in overheads, which causes problems of allocation in a multi product or multi department firm. Obviously, I give very good example for this, right? Today we can what? Tomorrow we have to solve a question. Tomorrow, that is Monday, we have to solve a question on this, correct? Now see how it happens. देखो जरा, right? थोड़ा सा सुनो. Now see, there are 4 departments in a company. You don't have to write this, okay? 4 departments. A, B, C, and D, right? Every department has 100 employees, correct? Then there is a tea that is served to these 400 employees. How many employees? 400 employees, right? The tea wala comes every day, gives tea to all the 400 employees, correct? Or at least he gives to whoever asks for tea, he gives the tea, correct? And tea ka what bill at the end of the month is $10,000. How much? $10,000, right? How will you divide this $10,000? Because every what? Tell me, multi-product, so multi-department, every department should get the fair share of the cost. Does it make sense? Tell me. How will you divide this $10,000? Bolo. Tea is directly attributable to what? Tell me.
Consumption of
Consumption, that is number of people drinking it, right? Now you see A, B, C, D per department has 100 people. So total how many people? 400 employees,
400.
correct? In that case, this 10,000 should be divided by what? Sir, 400 people. And every department has 100. So every department will get how much allocation of the tea expense? Tell me. $2,500. बराबर है क्या? So department A, B, C and D, when I'm making what? In that, if I say overheads, are these production or non-production overheads? सोचो जरा. Non-production है, correct? Non-production overhead में you say sir 2,500 to A, 2,500 to B, 2,500 to C, 2,500 to D, correct? Just as you do this, a mail is passed in the whole organization. कि T का expense 2,500 per department is given to every department head. The department head of D comes running to the admin department. Boss, no one in my department drinks tea. All our 100 people are tea free people, right? We are not addicted to tea. Why are you giving 2,500 to us? That is the problem that you have, correct? Can you ऐसा blindly on some basis divide these expenses? Tell me. But absorption costing will tell you to do it. I'm telling you right now only, right? Allocate the what? Overheads, fixed overheads on some basis to all the four. But sir, traditional costing क्या बोलता है? ऐसा ABCD कुछ नहीं देखने का. T, right? All four departments, correct? 4 डिपार्टमेंट डिवाइड बाय 4 करो, खत्म करो. या लेबर आवर्स है ना, लेबर आवर्स के ऊपर एलोकेट करो, खत्म करो. टेक ऑल द ओवरहेड्स, ऐड देम, लेबर, बिकॉज ओल्डर में व्हाट वाज मोर एविडेंट? लेबर. तो कोई भी चीज, नाउ सी वेरेवर ओवरहेड्स कम अप, करेक्ट, एंड यू हैव टू एलोकेट द ओवरहेड्स, करेक्ट. तो ज्यादा सोचने का नहीं, करेक्ट. लेबर आवर्स लेने का, एलोकेट करने का, खत्म करने का. बिकॉज लेबर वाज व्हाट? कंप्लीट न्यूक्लियस ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाज लेबर. But now the overhead have to be what? Tell me. Divide what? In a much more responsible manner, correct? But वो भी अभी has gone out of fashion. Slowly. Absorption या activity based costing, where you have 3-4 different products, 3-4 different departments, different activities, right? Accordingly you can do it, no issues, right? That is how it is, right? So we will do one question. इधर है क्या अपने पास question? We may have a question here. Activity based costing का question I think in the next part. Chapter 4 में होगा I think, जितना मुझे याद है. या OAR निकाला है क्या? This also I think absorption costing. ये भी also we can do, right? अरे देखो जरा. This question we can do tomorrow, correct? Right? देख लो, right? Where in absorption what we are doing? Tell me. Absorbing it on number of units. Traditional में क्या कर रहे हैं? Number of units पे, correct? So tomorrow or Monday we can do this question. Then we will move to what? Y is equal to or more into fixed and what? Tell me. Variable costs, and go into CVP analysis on Monday, right? Maybe the base of CVP analysis will be done, right? CVP analysis will start at that time. Break even point, basic formulas can be done, but there are a lot of what? Advanced questions that are there. We will do that as well. Okay. Chalo then, we'll wrap it up for today, right? I hope you understood whatever we did today. Later on also you will understand each and everything that is taught in class, right? Now, what is the weekend? What first weekend is there, right? Enjoy your weekend, because from next weekend there is going to be a lot of homework, correct? A lot of things to be practiced, everything to be done, right? Chalo, then we'll wrap it up for today. We'll meet on Monday, right? Chalo, bye bye guys. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.